Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something pretty cool, a powerful way to understand ourselves called the 5 levels of human experience. Think of it like this. It's a journey to help us stop just reacting to life and start, really living it. So, let's jump right in.
So let me ask you something. Ever feel like you're just stuck? Kind of caught in this loop, reacting the same way over and over again with the same emotions, the same thoughts? It's a super common feeling, right? But that feeling is actually a sign. It's a little nudge telling us there's a whole other level of awareness we can tap into. So what's the deal? What's holding us back?
Well, a big part of it comes down to this. This image really gets at a fundamental truth, doesn't it? Our personal perspective, it's just one tiny slice of the pie. We see the world from where we're standing, but that's never, ever the whole picture. And that, right there, is the very first roadblock to growth. Thinking our little corner of the world is the only world. So, think about it. Whenever you hear a new idea, you've got a choice. The first choice, the memory approach, is basically just checking if it matches what you already believe. It's a quick agree or disagree, and then you move on. But see, that's a closed loop. Nothing new gets in. The other choice, the application approach, is totally different. You ask, how could this be useful? How could this help me grow or see things differently? One path keeps you stuck. The other, well, that's where the real transformation happens. Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. To actually navigate our inner world, to break free from those limited perspectives we just talked about, we need a tool, a kind of reliable internal compass. And in modern applied psychology, they have a great name for it, the wise mind. Now, the wise mind isn't some mystical, separate part of you. It's actually the sweet spot, the integration of two other states we all have, our emotional mind and our rational mind. When they work together, you get this balanced, mature way of responding to life. But to really get it, let's take a look at what each of those minds looks like when it's running the show all by itself. First up, the emotional mind. You know this one. It's when we're running purely on feelings. We're reactive, and whatever we're feeling is our reality. It can be a pretty immature place to be, honestly. It's that state where you hear something new and your gut reaction is, nope, I don't like it. I feel like that's wrong, instead of trying to understand it. It's totally subjective and usually disconnected from the bigger picture. And then you've got the total opposite, the rational mind. This is all about logic, facts, and overanalyzing everything. And look, that sounds great on paper, but it can be just as disconnected as the emotional mind. It can be kind of heartless, dismissing feelings as just noise. Someone stuck here might be able to write a textbook on human experience, but be completely out of touch with what it actually feels like to be human. So the whole goal is to find that middle ground, to develop the wise mind. This is where we learn to be reflective. We don't ignore our emotions. We honor them, but we also guide them with reason. And we use logic, but we soften it with a little empathy. It's this amazing, growth-centered state that lets us pause and ask those game-changing questions, like, wait, why am I reacting like this? Or is there another way to see this situation? All right, so we've got our compass, the wise mind. That's awesome. But a compass isn't much good if you don't have a map, right? So now we need a map, a framework for understanding all the different territories inside ourselves. It's what helps us figure out where we are so we can actually navigate to where we want to be. And this map, it's all built around one simple but incredibly powerful number, 5. There are 5 fundamental levels to our human experience, and once you really get these, it's like a key that unlocks this profound self-awareness. We're talking about the physical, the emotional, the intellectual, the social, and the spiritual, which is really about our sense of purpose. So let's start sketching this map out. Level 1 is the physical experience. Super simple, it's just being aware of your body, its sensations, the fact that you're here in this physical form. From there, we move up to level 2, the emotional experience. And the key here isn't to crush your emotions or ignore them, but to actually understand them and learn to master them so they're not mastering you. And listen, there are more levels about our thoughts, our relationships, our purpose, but getting a handle on these first 2, that is the absolute foundation for everything else. Okay, so why are we doing this? Why does this whole map of our inner world even matter? Well, because this whole journey, from the physical to the emotional and all the way up, it isn't just navel-gazing. It has a real purpose. The whole point is to live a more fulfilling life, and because of that, to actually have a positive impact on the world around us. Deep thinkers like Søren Kierkegaard were all over this idea. He put it so perfectly. The real goal is to strip away all the masks we wear, all the things society expects us to be, and to just be the self which one truly is. It sounds simple, but it's so powerful. Authenticity isn't just some trendy buzzword. It is the absolute core of a meaningful life. The ancient Greeks, of course, had a fantastic word for this: eudaimonia. And it's so much more than just happiness. It really means human flourishing. It's that state you get to when you're living a life that has virtue and purpose, and you're always striving to become the best possible version of yourself. It's about a life well lived.
And what's cool is that this path to flourishing, this path of maturity, is super practical. It's a clear progression. It all starts with self-awareness, getting to know your inner world. Once you have that, you can move to self-management, learning to handle your emotions and actions. And once you can manage yourself, you start to develop real social awareness, like a deep empathy for other people. And what comes from that? Social influence, the genuine ability to make things better for everyone. So when you boil it all down, it's this: the better you understand yourself, the more you have to offer other people. There's this myth that profound ideas have to be super complicated, right? But that's not true at all. The reality is, someone who truly gets a complex idea can explain it in a way that's simple, powerful, and helps everybody level up. So I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Imagine your perspective as a box. We all live inside one, right? It's built from our experiences, our beliefs, everything we think we know. The whole journey of growth we've been talking about is just about making that box bigger, constantly expanding it, seeing a wider picture, and discovering what's true beyond what we think is true. So my question for you is, how big are you willing to think?